quick snap.
Thanks for checking out this quick snap. It's a follow-up to a First and 10 Monday I did talking about empty bunch wing formation and odd one high defense defending it. Gonna also talk about the offensive perspective going against this. Want to keep it short. Let me know if I'd like to talk ball, and I could go for I got some videos that end up stretching an hour and a half, and then I got other ones. This is going to hopefully be around the 10-15 minute range. Let me know how long you like the videos, because I'll try and make sure I kind of cater that to what you all like out there. So with that said, defending empty, somebody's running counter and some screens to keep the defense honest. Yeah, I think 100% you need to figure out, is that quarterback an actual passing threat? How good are those receivers out there? If you're operating from a one-high structure, I prefer a two-high structure, but if you are somebody who operates from a one-high structure, like the whole point, I think, is making sure you use that free safety to not get beat down the middle of the field. That's kind of the whole philosophy using a one-high structure. So I would make sure he's aligned at least head up on the third receiver, if not further inside. That's a coaching preference. You split the number ones. On the diagram right now, splitting the number ones would put him right here. But that's the alignment I give him. I would want to keep my Bob outside linebacker in a 9 technique on that Y. Just when we get into play action situations, he should always be keeping contained and forcing the play, making sure it funnels back to the rest of the guys on the defense. Plus, that's going to give our corner a read to be able to go fit. So we get counter left swing here. I would have, without any significant scouting, like our base way, I think we can match up and put linebackers on guard reads. We got 9-4, 0-4. Depending on where the scouting report maybe says they're running the ball more, day one I'd be slanting to that strength. Biggest reason I like slanting to the strength is when somebody ends up running something like power coming up here, I think we're forcing the double teams to work a little bit harder, probably keeping our linebackers cleaner. And then counter or split zone, the same concept here. If my DN to the field, the 4 technique here is slanting, he is going to be on a path to naturally make sure we spill and cancel that guard, which makes the wrapper have to go wider. So our MAC linebacker can go fit inside the wrapper, outside the kick out, and then the jack linebacker, after he reads run, can be the force defender. Okay? Rest of the guys fit in their gaps. Our corner, I would put him, he's got to respect the vertical, so he's primarily keying the Y, potentially going vertical, and then he'd also have eyes to the H. If the H would swing out and go vertical, the Y breaks off, he'd give the linebackers, he'd let the linebackers take so he's deep third. Over here, he's trying to match up whatever route goes deep third. Out on the perimeter, I would tell the strong safety here, you are winning outside number 2, because if number 2 slips you, the free safety can cover it. Corner, you got to stay in coverage. That's the other reason the strong safety in a one-high structure, whoever's that force defender or secondary force defender, flat defender, he needs to win outside, so that way that corner can stay in coverage in case we come over here. So now swing and go. As I mentioned, corner's keying that Y. He can go take and match him. Okay, and then if that strong safety gets slipped, not the end of the world. Free safety can stay on top. Ideally, the jack reads the difference here. He steps up. He is at least in the window of something, a slant thrown somewhere in the 10 to 12 yard window. And really, we can leave 6 guys to worry about quarterback scramble. That jack linebacker, if he can stay underneath, that lets the free stay deeper. We probably make that post skinnier. We keep the middle of the field completely protected. Provided that jack linebacker gets a good read on the difference between counter and ultimately swing and go. Okay, fitting something like split zone. Again, if we're in that slant, that guard's going to climb. He's going to have a clear shot at the linebacker, but the linebacker should be able, he needs to understand, all right, if we're pinching here, I'm that backside A gap. I'm this B gap. We've got all the gaps taken care of. We got D, C, B, strong A, weak B, and then kind of the idea with a min front is, you know, you're forcing the ball wider to guys that are not necessarily conflicted pass and run simultaneously. If the ball gets thrown out there, the jack needs to pursue, but we do have three guys if the jack doesn't get out there immediately. It should at least be forced back by the strong safety. So the run fit, again, D end's looking to spill that A back. I use this as an offensive coordinator, trying to get some runs for our A back in a playoff game a year ago. That A back would have to spill outside if the D end is ripping inside the kickout block of the H back. The MAC linebacker, hopefully he can scrape fast, and he's a bonus guy too. Jack linebacker, he reads run first. He's going to be a run fitter because, again, we got 3 for 3 out there. If one of their best players is not out there, we want to be box heavy. The corner, I'm having him, again, key that tight end. What I've coached as a DB coach is that tight end blocks out. You see his butt to the inside. You start to be an inside run fitter. You see that H go away. You're a bonus cutback guy. That lets our MAC linebacker, if they're running a ton of this and it's starting to really eat us up, we might go off guard reads if they're not running a ton of counter or power. Maybe we go off guard primary reads and backfield flow second to backfield flow first, especially with only one back there, and any guard lineman reads second. Power fit. Now, slant out, if they try basing our four technique, I think that's a great offensive plan. Okay? That tackle's going to win, and that H, you know, we're starting to fit. That H is also going to win. So this is something where, you know, your B gap responsible as a will linebacker. I think in your run fits, you got to teach them that B gap starts at the guard. You get some sort of insert block. You are trying to spill it to the corner. Corner reads his tight end blocking out, like I just talked about. We've got two guys bracketing that H. And then cutback gets a little dicey. MAC linebacker, we need you to win over the top, ideally, because you're going to make more plays winning over the top. Get downhill, beat the guard to the punch. And then the jack linebacker would be folding in for cutback. Okay? You could, if the Mike's fitting in there, or the MAC, whatever you want to call them, I guess you are good, and really probably that's the better fit. I feel like the MAC linebacker, if you're just flat out downhill, you're going to be showing up. Same time the guard's showing up, you're going to be causing a cluster in there, and ultimately this A gap, the center guard there should be really ate up by the nose slanting. Hopefully the nose can create some penetration. You get that guard bellying deeper. You know, that's one of those added things that you don't necessarily see when you are scheming to fit gaps, is that sometimes our technique or matchups can end up winning some of the blocks. So fitting one more run scheme. We get sweep. Again, I want that Bob linebacker in the 9 technique. He is winning outside the Y. The will, he sees a guard go to reach. You're a B gap responsible first, but that guard starts to reach. You are assuming a stretch scheme. You are trying to beat that H. We want you to beat that H so that, again, the corner can kind of stay in coverage and the ball goes wider. If the H does get you blocked, the corner can essentially crack replace. And I know it's not a crack block, but like the corner. All right, Y's hooked up, H is hooked up. I can pull my trigger. The whole idea is send that ball wider. You get the corner more time. We're slanting here. That MAC linebacker step up. I see full flow. I see guards both reaching. I am replacing the will on his B gap responsibility. I need to get over top of the midline. I should be able to. That's a hard climb, in my opinion, for the center if you are slanting to the tight end side, to the side that the sweep's going to. That's why I would initially slant towards that tight end. The one kind of weak spot sometimes in odd stacks is the C-gap area. You need to make sure where the tight end is, you're accounting for that C-gap. In my opinion, doing it with the defensive lineman is better. Defensive end, beat the tackle, and you're running the heel line. Jack linebacker, that ball takes off. Once that quarterback turns and the ball hasn't come out, start working for cutback. Okay? Out on the perimeter again, strong safety, win it outside, let the corner and the free stay in coverage. So now somebody comes play action. How do we end up matching that? I think offensively, like this is a great idea if you can get the pass protection, attacking that corner with two vertical threats. So ideally what happens, that Bob linebacker, all right, that's like a reach block. My tight end released and I got something. I don't let stuff outside. I am trying to play force defender over there the best I can. I'm going to run and be inside leverage. Trail technique on that H. Hopefully this is something that's on film. That's what makes our lives as defensive coordinators hard. Will linebacker, you read pass, you're trailing inside there, and then I would work my butt off. That Will linebacker's trying to wall that out so the corner can split these two, but he's favoring, I'm splitting two verticals as a DB. I'm going to favor the inside one because this is a further throw for a quarterback to get it outside. I think we're really good on the opposite side, strong safety. You read that bubble, you sink, reroute. You don't have to get to the bubble fast until the quarterback actually throws it out there. So if the quarterback never turns and pumps it, keep sinking, bait them to throw a check down there. Get your guys to understand that. Corner, sink, hopefully the free in the corner end up in double coverage on the remaining post there, and then the jack linebacker, all right, maybe you even think that's run for a little bit, you pursue a little bit, you see that quarterback set up shop, be here ready to pick up the drag crumb coming across. I think we're in real good shape on that side. This side, we got to make sure we work that Will and Bob linebacker carrying those routes so that way the corner has less space to split verticals. A wide receiver screen, or screens to the tight end, that's all on that Bob linebacker. I've made a very conscious effort. Our outside linebackers, they got to either be, they've either been very smart or very athletic, and then you got to train them. Hey, this is like a reach block. Stay with it. That tight end's going to tell you what you need to do all the time. The only time it lies a little bit here, you'd start to squeeze that, but then pick up your secondary key with the H. So right there, if the Bob linebacker just stays on it, the rest of this, you're working your screen retrace, with the rest of your guys. That's why a lot of teams, they'll leave that backside guard, sometimes leave him in coverage so that way the screen retrace can only come out of the tackle and nose. If a team is running a ton of screen, I think you include that in the inside run period. Mac and Will, linebacker, guys are coming at you, you go back at them. Okay? Corners over the top, we're over the top there. And then lastly, we're working against shallow. All right? Bob linebacker, cross, cross, cross. You are treating that no different than the H wheeling out. Corner, you get crosser, you keep sinking. We're real good. We're 2-on-1 over there. Will linebacker, cross, 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 sink to the middle. Ideally, if the play goes a little bit longer and they run a dig out of the A back there, out of the third receiver, you're going to push over. I want you a little deeper than when I'm drawing up there. But you want to be able to drive on that, make sure it's tackled exactly where it's caught, if it's tackled at all. Mac linebacker can be pushing the same way. So what the nice part is, if the quarterback's a real running threat, what I've coached these guys to do, all right, you guys get crosser, you are now secondary contained on the quarterback, and like a quarterback spy guy, and now the Mac linebacker can be there. Jack linebacker, push, reroute, be ready to come back down on the crosser. We got both the cross, the shell cross, and the dig matched up. Free, you are working to stay inside. Out here, a little bit dicey. What I would ultimately want, two ways of doing it. If you are playing true zone, we want the corner sinking and splitting two of them. We want the outside linebacker, the strong safety, excuse me, S is the strong safety. Sometimes he's also Sam, my bad. But we want the strong safety running with that, being inside the corner, working his butt off to split both of those receivers, baiting, again, that wheel to be thrown so you can break on it, get to the sideline. You want more air under the ball so you got more time to make a reaction to it. If our jack linebacker does a great job of walling the post, if this is a post, that Mac linebacker can keep sinking. We got to at least make the quarterback put air under the ball, so the free's on top and the Mac linebacker's there. So those two linebackers, you can sort that out a couple different ways. The issue is if you are dropping both inside linebackers, they start worrying about the post. All of a sudden, that shuttle gets caught, and that guy's running at full speed. So probably ideal world. It depends on if we get post dig over here in the end, but I'm asking the free's got to be a post protect guy. He gets a post, he's got to have it. If it does break off as a dig, he can help on the second post coming on the post wheel concept out there if it's not a dig. Most teams, you play one high, you should more often get that dig route because that post route is running right into the free. Most teams are working to get that second post, and that's why I'd ask the corner to squeeze and the strong safety to carry it. And again, we want to see that wheel thrown because there's more air under the ball. So some ideas for defending, empty trips with H to the other side.
Thanks for checking out this quick snap on Coaching Football with Brian Klee. Please follow me on Twitter at Coach Klee. Subscribe to the channel, Coaching Football with Brian Klee, by clicking down below. And if you have any further follow-up questions, email me at coachbrienklee@gmail.com.